Hello, Internet, and welcome to a new edition of Solo, because we got in trouble last time, Bodycam Breakdowns. I'm currently finishing my dinner because I told you guys 7:50, and I'm going to try to make 7:50 happen. So on this episode, you're going to see me. Maybe somebody joins me. Hopefully you guys start to populate the chat. While y'all populate the chat, this is OnlyCops for the uninitiated. Likely the thumbnail's incorrect, but either way, I'm going to be eating my sandwich real quick so I can finish and then give you guys a not grumpy Josh Bodycam breakdown. Hey, Isaiah, what's going on, my dude? Is it Isaiah? How do I say that? Either way, it's good to see you. Yo, number 2. Brian said first, although you're showing up late on that first, Brian. Sarah, thank you for showing up. And Notorious Emu, I will do my best to eat the sandwich. Do you guys have any questions? Give me 1 second. Millennial Cup, my friends did leave me. Oh, assertive waffle, what's going on? If you ain't first, you're... Just like any questions, you know what? I'll make it an AMA while I finish the sandwich before we get to the body cam breakdown. I love you guys. For the uninitiated, the body cam breakdown is done every Thursday, where we, normally it's me, Juan, and Bill. Bill being my fellow police officer and Juan being part of our civilian oversight board. Go and give, we'll say, context to law enforcement related stuff. Unlike last week that we're not going to talk about. It should be a much more educational version of that. Are they on probation? No, they are not on probation. Assertive waffle. No dang it's. Oh, he just probably threw dang it because he actually wasn't first. What happened to executive producer 1? I believe he's doing pumpkin nights. He does actual business stuff sometimes. And so producer 1 might be out for a little bit. See, where is everybody? Bill is currently working. He may or may not pop in here. I decided, because I'm going to be out for a little bit, that I would jump on and give you guys a surprise Thursday stream. The only way you knew about this stream was if you were part of our Discord. Our Discord's as little as $1 a month, and that gives you access to us 24/7. How is dark humor seen in policing for my time on the force? It's accepted in the appropriate spaces. Appropriate being the key word. And then I think dark humor also has different levels. I think there's some people that do it for the morbidity of it. Like it's like a cool kid thing to do. I feel the same way about like PTSD. Like people that have actual PTSD don't make it a part of their personality. They kind of cope and deal with it as they become symptomatic. Or you have advocates. There's real advocates out there that are dealing with that. But dark humor has the same problem where dark humor is oftentimes used to make yourself seem cooler than you actually are. Or as high as $100 a month. Fellas, what's going on? Hi from PJ and Pam. PJ and Pam, I love you. I want to apologize. You know why I'm apologizing. I love you, and we have brought sanctity and normalcy back to the OnlyCops body cam breakdowns. Best not in front of family members, Keith. Yes, dark humor is inappropriate in front of the families of victims. That's probably the worst spot you can do it at. Andrew Bruce, what's going on, my dude? Last week was a car crash where I thought it couldn't get any worse, but oh, wait, the car exploded. That is a lot worse. DG, what's going on? It is good to see you. But everybody's popping in. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys can drop a like, more people can see this and see what's going on. And Badge Bunny's here. Bro, everybody's showing up. Yes, Notorious Emu. I promise to make this a more normal stream. Millennial Cop says he's selling pumpkin spice to the Han Solo Club. Not so much. Just glad I could stop by again. Missed last week. Assertive Waffle, you did not miss much last week. I'm kind of glad you missed last week. Last week, car crash. Oh, I already read that one. We need a back panel. A backup panel? Yeah, we probably would. I could see Only because the last time we had guests on the show, it went very poorly, but we will likely have a backup panel. I will next week be in California. Pray for me. A Texan has to go to California. But I will be going to go test out some NDA stuff with Surefire. I have to go shoot guns and stuff. Weirdly enough, I get to shoot guns in California. But that is why I will not be here. I will likely be very active in our Discord since I'll be a little bit more unencumbered by work. But poor me, I have to go get paid to shoot guns. I was at the aftermath for the Discord meetings. Oh, okay, so Assertive Waffle gets it. For those of you that are currently watching this after the fact, to my YouTube people that are going to censor this, we here at OnlyCops do not promote violence or anything of the nature. The unfortunate reality of law enforcement interactions is that they oftentimes are violent affairs, and we are trying to educate both the public and current, former, or soon-to-be police officers on how to interact with those spaces more safely, and so that we can make better decisions when interacting with law enforcement or law enforcement interacting with people. So, yeah, dude, the last like 3 or 4 Discord meetings have been just stacked, and also fire. Put something in your pocket for me. I need a new light, a new duty light. If I can find a new duty light for you, I'll ship it to you. Phyllis, we love you. Pam wants to know if the guy last week was really a cop. Yes, he was. You guys can look it up later. It's a complicated story. The people in the after party did get it. He was medically retired due to a very, very, very serious physical injury. You can look up his story. Chris the Cop, I was on Chris the Cop when I heard his story, but yes, the guy from last week was indeed a former police officer. He got injured in a very horrible way that likely had to deal with how last week went down, and then we had an off-site conversation about it. I'll attend Discord meetings if y'all have any more. We will, indeed. We always have Discord meetings. They're the best. Josh, did you read What Happened to Me This Week? No, What Happened to You This Week? As in, Northern Californian firearms are more acceptable. Oh, yeah. So California, just like Texas, has like more gun-friendly and less gun-friendly places of the state. Everywhere. Like the second you become a very big state, it's like upstate New York versus like New York City, New York. Very different politics, very different people. Yeah, Millennial Cop gets it. From police officer to teacher to stripperology. Sergeant George gets it. Also, Sergeant George, I love you. Thank you for being here. I will get into the body cams real quick. If you guys have some that I missed, I was only able to get so far. I think I went like 3 or 4 days back in the Discord because I got like machine gunned with videos. We are going to get to videos. I will be very closely monitoring the stream because it's just me, and so y'all are the only ones I'm hanging out with. But I will go ahead and play the video. Context is LAPD is going to get in a pew-pew. Again, we do not promote violence, but we just try to find some context on how to better approach this stuff, if we can. Audio's on. Tell me if you guys can hear it.
Security and Shopping Center 3-4.
Kristen Halsey, thank you for the super chat.
Texas Street in Worcester. I have a guy with a gun. He don't want to move for the Shopping Center. I need help.
3-4 West 6th Street?
6 in Western, yes.
Okay, sir.
Shopping Center.
3-4 West 6th Street, is that the correct address?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this a business?
I'm scared about this. Excuse me?
Is this a business or a house?
Yes, business.
That better on
What's
volume?
the name of the business?
Oh, crunchy. Sorry.
I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, sir. And
What?
who has a gun?
I have a guy who has a gun and he don't want to move and he sleeps and he bothers me, everybody. Please, I need help.
Is
My
he black?
name is
Is
security.
he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
Wow.
And now his wife.
That was not
What
alphabetical.
color shirt is he wearing?
He wearing the white t-shirt.
I always like to listen to Call Take because I was never on this side of policing, but Call Take's got a hard job, but every once in a while Call Take is wild.
Black
I
vest?
know what's in here.
So we get a description of the suspect here. I'm assuming they were having to search the area for the guy based off the description, so I can't be mad about not staging, but if you can stage, do it. That being said, a car is a lot quicker way to get around and search an area than it is on foot. But if you can, if you have an armed person, try to approach them on foot rather than in your car, because it is kind of a metal or a bullet magnet. The call was quiet, body cam is fine. Cool, perfect.
Put your fucking hands up! Drop it! No, talk to you, drop it!
39
Hey, read the play for me.
32 is Kenmore, north of Wilshire.
Put it down!
Drop it! Hey, Connor, get the back shot, get the back shot.
2013 Roger.
Get the shot.
Get this shot. Okay, there's going to be a conversation about muzzle discipline here. Knowing that she's got kind of an unknown backdrop, I'm okay with her not pointing the gun at the threat. Also, her backstop on that threat is pretty atrocious. You can't tell if cars, because there's like a blind corner here. I'm neither here nor there. It's a judgment call on the officer's part as to whether or not you're actually going to cover the unknown threat area or the active threat with a gun. So I'm not terribly mad at her not pointing the gun at the guy because, like I said, there's a safety aspect to it. However, leaving your light on while you're swinging it, you lose a lot. Not that she's hiding right now, but you are illuminating yourself, making yourself easier to aim at optically. If you can toggle that light on and off, you can practice, especially on like a stream light. It's really nice because the left toggle, you can just push down while you're aiming, and then when you let it go, it comes off. Actually really well designed. I'm actually a big fan of the Streamlight weapon mounted lights, but just be mindful of your light discipline here. I am a team. If he's on foot, I'm good with approaching him on foot. I kind of get where she's coming at. I guess if this guy just books it, having the car at least nearby so you can kind of block off traffic or whatever. But this might also be like a trainer rookie situation because she was already directing him on what to do, or she's just the more assertive or senior officer here. You should not have to take time to tell other officers what to do. You guys should already kind of have similar training and experience in this type of stuff. I'd like to see her be unencumbered by telling the other officer what to do and let him do his job, but he might not know. So shout out to her for at least utilizing the help that she does have.
Please, do you have the suspect on eastbound on the Wilshire? 2013 Roger.
Okay. This pointing of the light I have issue with. If you're not pointing it at something, turn the light off.
Get the shot. Drop the fucking gun! 24-5, you have the suspect walking eastbound on Wilshire towards Catalunya.
Yeah.
This is cover. She's at least halfway. She's got an ability to take cover. I'm actually kind of team her trying to get more assets here. I understand the want, tactically at least, to contain this threat as much as possible. However, the only issue I have with it is that he's able to free roam. But if you know that you got units nearby, observe, get them there, and then quickly isolate it, as opposed to poorly isolating it and then being in an emergency situation. She probably sees something I can't. Bodycam does like a really terrible job of showcasing what the officer's actually seeing. So she probably sees something we don't. But I do like that she's at least getting on the radio very calmly and giving instructions. It's very indicative of it, at least an experienced officer. I don't know if it's senior because you'd be lucky. In smaller towns, you get a lot more of these calls. So you get a lot of practice. But good job on her for getting good, clear audio. And also that she keyed up and magically nobody else was trying to take the radio air from her. So I'm glad she was able to key up.
Adam 45.
Again, really poor backstop. So I'm okay with her trying not to point the gun.
Drop the gun!
Oh man, that's rough.
Hey! Drop the gun! Drop the fucking gun!
I don't know how much more clear she could be about instructions. Shout out to not having a handpiece and having to now point a gun one-handed. Shout out to the mic loop. What's up, Potato Josh? What's up, Nathaniel?
Just west of Kalamazoo. No white shirt, black pants.
Good description.
Still armed with the rifle.
You are now
On
outgunned.
the south side of the street, Wilshire, west of Catalina. Male white shirt, black pants.
Drop the gun!
Oh.
345, you have a suspect on the south side of the street, Wilshire, just west of Catalina. Male white shirt, black pants. Still armed with the rifle.
No white. Wait. Stop.
Street, Wilshire, west of Catalina. Male white.
Drop it in your hand, bro! Drop it! Just fire!
I mean, that's, I don't know what else you want.
Drop it, bro!
That's as good a backstab as you're probably going to get.
Drop it, bro!
It's, don't yell it's fake. Don't be that guy.
I got it. I'll put it up. Put it out. 20.
Harry, I don't have eyes on the suspect, you guys. Harry, can have all units respond westbound on Wilshire only.
Hey, Catalina.
Want to push up?
Yes.
345, you have
No. Fire!
I wonder what this guy saw.
Wilshire, west of Catalina. Male white.
Hey, drop it in your hand, bro! Drop it! Shots fired!
I mean, if he believed he was going to take fire, I have no issue with the shot. But the kind of a rule of thumb I almost always tell with people is if you feel like you can take one shot, make sure that you can take three. What I mean by that is like if it's at the very, very limits or past the limits of your ability to shoot, kind of be self-aware with that. This is a hard situation to be in because he doesn't know, and he's potentially being engaged by a rifle that's pretty easy to cover that distance with. So I'm not mad about the shot being taken. It's just like if you're putting effective shots on fire and you're shooting within your capabilities, you should hit the target. And if you're gonna hit him once with a handgun, you should hit him multiple times minimum. The kind of rule for thumb is like 3 to 5 shots with a handgun because most of the time the first 2 are gonna have very little effect unless you hit them somewhere very soft. I know it sounds weird, but the whole idea here is containing this threat. Let's say this is a guy that's got a rifle and he's going out and potentially going to harm somebody. Every second that you do not intervene with deadly force is every second he might use deadly force on other people. So YouTube, don't get mad that I'm encouraging it, but I'm just saying from a safety standpoint, if you feel like you can articulate it, you should. Personally use a mic clip instead. A mic clip's a good idea. There's no perfect dash to go to Metro. Millennial Cop, you're 100% right. There is no good backstop.
I shot. He pointed the rifle at us. So, yo, what do you want?
Drop the gun!
Is that buckshot? I wonder if that's actually a deadly force. No, it looks like a 40 mic. Or not a 40 mic, but a 12 gauge beanbag or something. Turn the siren off. Thank you. There's a lot of assets, man. I'm team keep hitting them with this. I like fists for the people behind the car. I don't like this for the person in the car. It's a lot of bravery by the person in this car because let's say this is a real gun, you're pretty much helpless. But I do like that they're almost utilizing this like an APC and allowing for individuals to kind of break off, engage him, and then kind of sink back into concealment at the very least. If there's no ballistic paneling on this, this is not cover. Do we all want body cam from Tyler getting bodied? Oh my God. Yes, I will go look it up. Tyler sent it to me directly and I will go and share it. I forgot about that. We do a body cam for, if we have body cam for that, I want to see it. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry you got hurt.
Hey, drop it!
Now, Tyler's a better man than me. Why have they not gone for rifles? They might not have rifles. This happened, now, mind you, they might. But in my shift, specifically Bill and I, this was in 2020, him and I were the only rifle certified people within like a 20 or 30 mile radius of our our area of operations. Our jurisdiction was split up into north, south, east, and west. But there was multiple days where we were the only rifles we had. We had 20 or 30 officers, but only 2 of us actually had deployable rifles. And every once in a while we rode 2-man. So that means that the only 2 rifles in the city were in one car. So sometimes you don't have that asset. Shotguns, just because most police departments already have them, a lot of times they'll convert them to these less lethal ones. I wouldn't be a fan of using buckshot in this environment, given the circumstances. But yeah, not everybody has rifles, unfortunately. Carries patrol rifles in their trunk in case the shotgun, yeah, isn't stuck on a gun lock. I buy that.
Rifle in the right hand! Rifle in the right hand!
Beanbag.
Rifle! Rifle!
For the uninitiated, what's an APC? APC is an armored personnel carrier. Thank you. How about slugs? You better have a good way of aiming for slugs. Bead sights aren't the greatest. Mostly because if you're not all the way cheeked down on a shotgun, like you won't hit what you're aiming at. If you have an optic on it, maybe it's a little bit easier. But the trajectory for slugs is kind of rainbow-esque. I do like slugs as a long gun option. It's just like in an environment like this, the other problem with slugs is like crazy over penetration. It's great for defeating barriers, but it's like also like an issue, like kind of like how Millennial Cop said. In an environment like that, like you don't have a really great backstop, and so you're really worried about collateral damage. As much as you are worried about controlling it, you are worried about just becoming more danger than you are help. Being a cop in these situations sucks. There are no good answers. Actual physical control, also that also counts. They do not have APC right now. That's a lot of cops.
Take the 40, go around and hit him.
So I'll be honest, if we don't think he's armed, and in this instance they're hitting him with beanbags, which makes me think they don't think he's armed, like with something substantial, like maybe they think this is a BB gun or whatever. Yeah, go get that actual control we're talking about. Like I think with that many officers on scene, it'll sound like you're forcing it or forcing the situation, but the longer he's going out and about, he could carjack somebody, he could victimize somebody, maybe then you're dealing with a hostage situation. Like right now, it's just him. I would get right up on him and go leverage the force that you need to leverage to get actual physical control. He is still free grazing as a suspect, yes. Also, the most effective means of getting somebody into custody is these.
Pull the shit around.
Cut him off. Cut him off. Force the situation. Bro, this guy's walking like it's nobody's problem.
Hit him with the beer, hit him.
Drop the gun!
He almost hit the guy behind him with that.
Keep going forward. Keep pushing forward.
I would probably force the situation at this point. It's sketchy, but go around and cut him off. It's not a great situation to be in, but it's better than letting him free graze. I'll tell you what, this like tarp or whatever he's dragging, it's either a tent or a tarp's also kind of sucky, because let's say you're convinced that the thing he's carrying is an air gun, he could still be concealing an actual weapon. So that's kind of sketchy. This makes the use of force a lot more complicated. Is he dodging and weaving? He is totally dodging and weaving. We're going to let him free range here for a second. Now he threw a flashlight. I don't, this is now at least 8 minutes of him free ranging here.
Watch the back up. I'm right behind you.
Bro, there's like an army of cops, dog. But there's county guys right now that are like mad watching this. Josh, you're out collecting YouTube bans like donuts. I know. Thank you, Blanket Immunity. Oh, I also love your new name. That's blank. That's his tent. That's pretty wise. Final results, airsoft rifle. Are we still? Okay, we're gonna get some conclusions here. What is my dude doing? My dude's probably high, unfortunately, but he's leaking a little bit of blood here. This guy totally might be high. I guess they got him cornered. RIP for these people that this is like their door. He's looking for the next save point. So yeah, like this could be him producing an actual weapon. And you just wouldn't know. Yeah, I'd be littering this dude with less lethals if we're not committed to doing lethal at this point. Jammed rifle.
Drop the gun!
Yeah, I don't know how many times you got to hit this guy with. He's like, dog, you got it. Use it. Hey, let's go use some taxpayer money. Come on now. God, think about how many people this. Good Lord. This is a lot. I was in a big city, and there's a lot of cops. His leg's going to be jelly by now. Oh, what is... This is a lot of resources. There's some pissed off, like, night commander right now. It's like, why is there so many people here? There's my deputies that go out talking shit. I love you guys. You'd probably be lucky to have 4 deputies to handle this, to be 100%.
That's 40! 40, I got 40 ready.
Bro, hit him. What are we doing? Just give him a pop.
40 ready. 40
Gain compliance. Get that APC. Otro.
40 ready. 40 stand by. 40 stand by.
Those have gotta hurt, dude. Those have gotta hurt. Those gotta hurt a lot. Could be fetching a weapon here. Oof. That's gotta hurt. What? Well, they just look for an excuse for this. What is this dog gonna do? What is this gonna do? They got 2 remote cameras looking at this guy. I guess they're verifying what these items are. That does indeed look like an air rifle and like a taser or pepper ball pistol. Confirm weapon, no weapon. Yeah. I didn't have this on patrol. We just had to run up there and figure it out. If the cop barks, he will surrender. I buy that. This looks like hours and hours of paperwork. This is days worth of paperwork. Holy, dude. Are we going to take this poor dude into custody? Are they retrieving this? What are they doing? Well, they're dragging it away. That's actually kind of cool. That's wild. They just got like a little arm. That's adorable.
a pistol? I think it's a lighter.
It looks like a lighter.
Help you. Just keep your hands where we can see. Hold still,
They got
hold still, hold
mobile
still.
cover? Dog.
Okay, we're gonna move up.
I had none of this.
Keep your hands where we can see him. Keep your hands up. We're good. Come here, come here.
I'm gonna be honest. They've been asking this guy to come here and stop for like now probably 2 or 3 hours to get this many resources. Like, go up and grab this guy. There we go. Look at that. I'm a proud papa here. Let's go get this guy some aid. He probably needs medical attention. Well, I'm glad they got him in safely. He was likely very high. This happens a lot. People get like really, really high and make poor decisions. So, yeah, I'm. That was good outcome. It's always good to see good happy outcomes where people can come in. Agree. Yeah, they probably should have gained compliance a lot quicker. But I will say this, on the administrative side of things, I understand the liability that command staff feels like they're taking on, which is why they'd say if we throw every asset we possibly can at this, then if this happens to go sideways, then at least we said we tried everything else. So I do kind of understand that, but it's kind of wild. SWAT says please. It's LAPD, that too. They're probably the most like risk adverse police department on the planet, which they kind of need to be. Get paid by the hour, not by the job. Sort of Waffle gets it. You guys are all on OT. Cops gotta use all the toys. Yeah, that robot dog that could actually grab stuff, that was actually kind of cool. No audio. Hold on.
It's in my club because I'm a stripper. I'll see your face. Only if you like it, though. You want to taste me?
No.
Do it.
Stay in the blue box.
I like it kinky.
Stay in the blue box, Grace.
Don't.
Stay in the blue box.
What?
Pulling into Liberty Ford, they're stopping.
Dancer tries to seduce cop. Oh no. Oh, that's a charge.
Roll down the windows.
Did she evade? I'm reading while this plays. Hold on.
Stop. Stop.
She crashed into another vehicle and then fled. That's why the stop is for. That's why she got pursued. I was just curious what the point of contact was for. Daniel, don't you start.
Stop. Don't get out.
Walks for the robo-dog.
You answer.
Okay, and I will answer. Why'd you get on me like that?
26 headquarters. It's a
For this music? Hold on. We'll try to get past the music.
Why did you take off like that?
I'm sorry.
We've got leaving the scene of an accident. So I'm good with handcuffs at this point. However, if you're going to place handcuffs, you're likely having to Mirandize here. So I'd be curious if he does Miranda here at this point. Because this is pre-SFSTs. This is pre a lot of stuff. If she's not being combative, maybe I leave her out of handcuffs just so I could maybe get through SFSTs and without having to Mirandize. But like that's my only complaint here so far is now you're in that weird space where anything asked after this can be attacked by even a public defender at what the minimum amount of education and experience on this is that if she's not Mirandized here, being able to articulate feeling like you were under arrest or it's reasonable to assume she's under arrest is important. But the arrest is good. Also, shout out to Gloves.
What, you drinking or something?
No.
Where are you coming from?
Can you stop pulling me like that?
Nope. Do you have anything in your pockets?
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
So she's effectively under arrest. If he's already starting to do search incident to arrest, you wouldn't be asking if she has. I guess you could ask just so you don't get like poked by a syringe or anything.
I don't know. You want to check me? Search me real quick. It may feel intimate.
All right, stop.
So as much as it might be fun, I'm sure the comment section's already getting outrageous. Oftentimes, given how bad her slurred speech is right now and that she got in an accident, whatever, drinking is not new to a stripper. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Likely somebody that's engaged in high-risk behavior does consume intoxicating substances. The one fear you do have, if somebody seems out of control from that or more out of control of the norm, is you might have something like GHB in her system. or also just some other form of not just alcohol, but there might be pills or something else. It's something to keep mind of. I used to like to call for EMS every single time I saw that, or ask them what they've taken. Because as much as she might seem just kind of squirrely right now, she could potentially be, now that she's in custody, she's your problem. She might be a medical emergency in a couple minutes as this stuff starts to enter her bloodstream or as it gets worse. And she could technically be, in a long form way, a victim of a crime if she was unknown to her, given these things. Very common in strip clubs. But she's probably fine.
Sitting there.
Y'all, this comment
Y'all
section.
wanna stop.
He did not do a search. She's very much in
Are you
custody.
on something right now?
No.
He asked about
I
the
just
drugs.
came for dinner with my trip.
How much you have to drink there?
2 doubles.
Two
Two
doubles.
doubles.
Patron.
Okay.
Patron.
So you are drunk.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Where's the owner of that vehicle?
I don't know.
Who's Donta Smith?
I just bought it.
All right.
She wasn't even
He's
frisked
gonna
for
be dealing with
weapons.
the crack.
That's wild.
This OVI. So. You all right though? No injury? Are you injured?
No.
Do you need EMS?
No.
Well, he asked and she
I
refused
need
on
to talk
EMS.
to
Shout out to
you.
him.
What?
Don't hit me with a what?
What do you need?
Don't try me because I used to be a paramedic.
Okay.
Don't hit me
Surprise,
with
surprise.
what you need.
Okay. What do you?
Because I know that you want to listen to more than what I got.
What is
You
your
want a drug
name?
bust.
What's that?
You want a drug bust.
Leg in the car. Name.
Grace.
Grace what?
GRACESPOONAM.
NAM.
NAM.
All right.
As a monkey.
Okay.
ORE.
ORE.
Yeah.
Well, he's straight up doxing
Yes.
this chick.
Put your foot in the car. Or 30371. No.
Get 6 drinks.
6 drinks of Patron.
6 drinks of Patron. Golly.
Clear.
His house.
At dinner, where does your friend live?
I really don't know, because I'm not from Ohio.
The code 2 double. She's
Bad. No. We'll get
Obviously. Like Tupperware.
you up.
You want someone to pick me up? Because I can.
The timer.
I'm not trying to.
She could very easily just be drunk. But where I was at, so Bill and I were cops in Arlington, and so we had Cowboy Stadium there. And there's a lot of hotels around Cowboy Stadium, and there was a lot of big major events that happened around there, and just something for the, I guess, more inquiring minds. Every once in a while, when you run into younger females that are already out and about or open about the fact that they're strippers and things of that nature, there's often times where these people will be involved in human trafficking, maybe not directly or indirectly, but because like people think of human trafficking and they think of people getting kidnapped and then like sold into like slavery or whatever. And it's not always the case, because you also have people that will groom younger females into like becoming willingly, in essence, part of human trafficking. And oftentimes you'll see it when these people aren't from the state that you're in. Again, we were in North Texas, and we would get people from Minnesota, or we get people, and these people were prostitutes. And so there's maybe some times where you try to dig a little deeper than just the DWI itself. Especially, it's like midday, and she's this intoxicated. Could easily be just somebody that's drunk. That's totally the case. But oftentimes with younger females, it's incredibly common if you have big sporting events, or you don't even have to have that. You have just a hotel. It was something to look into because that's often indicative of bigger, more organized crime, which you would like to be aware of if you can kind of, or at the very minimum, mention that in a report, because it might kick it to a different detective that might do a deeper investigation into it than you can.
Tell you how to do your job. But I'm just telling you, call
Yep.
my job.
Do you have insurance for that vehicle?
Nathaniel gets it.
What do you think I am? Some broke ass hoe?
I think you're drinking and driving right now.
Dick without selling it before it comes.
What do you mean?
You understand that?
No.
No?
No.
You gotta make it hard.
She's very drunk.
Do it.
Tried.
What happened? Yeah.
So what's a little weird is, again, and maybe I skipped it, but he didn't give Miranda. So, like, she's very much in custody. She also was, there's a pretty weak search incident to arrest. Unless in his mind, he doesn't believe that she's under arrest at this point. It'd just be important to do the Miranda aspect of it. I'd be curious to see if he doesn't do it. She's already verbally admitted to being drunk. So having reasonable suspicion or probable cause is going to be a lot easier. Or PC, at least for the arrest. Reasonable suspicion is she fled an accident. Bless her heart. She needs help making better choices. She does indeed.
Going down. She's going down for that. Yeah.
Bro, I'm not fucking up and left on the streets for these bitches care. Fuck, he is in Cleveland.
We're in Brunswick.
You let me bleed out. You let me live.
What?
Live. You bleed out to deal with public.
Some people are just crazy too, to be fair. But being drunk is one thing. Being drunk and high, and high in the sense that you're on some sort of maybe not a hallucinogenic, but you'll see this a lot of times with people that'll take K2. And it'll permanently kind of screw with their brain. Edibles, GHB, things of that nature. When people start to make like no sense, you might, like I said, potentially have a medical emergency, and they might not know to look for that. You're not a medical professional, so every once in a while, just for liability's sake, I would make EMS make scene anyways, just to check vitals and whatever it is. And again, it's from a liability sake. Your supervision will love you for the rest of forever if you're constantly thinking in the back of your mind about liability. If she's potentially devolving into having some sort of mental episode or whatever, you at least need to make a note of it in your report. Once she goes to the jail, it's the jail's problem, not yours. But like right now, she's in your care and custody. So like you need to be looking at these things.
Out my area. Okay. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You don't know what the fuck you're dealing with.
Okay.
With.
Also, the only other issue I have with this is none of this is going to add to his PC for the arrest for DWI or leaving the scene of an accident, right? He's got an arrestable offense on both of those things. This is not helping identify her. This is not helping to understand anything. She's just like, why are we still on scene? We can leave. And then just from an observation standpoint, he probably is pretty safe. This might be a safe part of town, so he doesn't have to worry about it. I was always worried about staying too long on scene because people could start to approach you. Somebody happens to drive by. Now you're dealing with auditors, or now you're dealing with just people that don't like the police showing up. She might have friends that show up, family members that show up, and now you got to deal with them. If you have no further investigation to do, get her to the jail. Go do your report. Go do whatever it is you got to go do. Fill out your forms. But like, there's no reason to really hang out if you can avoid it, just from a safety standpoint.
You don't know how many way to go.
Atlanta, Georgia?
Yes. You're going to get through. And I promise that.
Straight to jail, yes, as the sheriff officer said.
Are you going to... I can't step up and step back in?
Come on.
You don't trust me.
Stay in the car.
You don't
There's no
trust
reason to
me.
have the door open, to be honest.
You don't trust me.
There's no reason to have her
You don't trust me.
able to get in and out. Let's go to the jail. There we go.
Right.
Let's go to the jail. What do we got to wait on, dog?
My recommendation is do the OBI up and do on traffic with your other ACD site.
Yeah.
And then do the obstructing on the long form.
Everything in the Muni?
Everything in the Muni.
All right.
Yep. And then he'll handle everything tomorrow.
She's like screaming in
Monday
there.
court date or Wednesday? 5 days. I think Wednesday.
Let's do Wednesday.
Okay.
Let's do Wednesday.
All right.
I'll break my thumb right now to get out these cuffs.
The normal fun conversation on the way to the jail. These are always weird.
You wouldn't let me go. No.
Oh, no. Shoot.
No.
Door 22, please.
What's your name? Logan? You look like a Logan.
You look like a Logan. Surprised that Sally Port's still open. Unless it's like something I can't see. Like, these people are wild. We used to have a little gate open. You drive in and it would shut, so you wouldn't have to deal with somebody running in your parking lot.
Go ahead.
Come
Let
on.
me keep pissing.
You can move her. What are we waiting for?
The
Come on.
bacterial infection. Get off.
No, leave it on.
And I am.
Leave it on. Grace.
Come on.
Okay. No.
Do it. Touch me.
Do they not have jail staff?
You didn't catch my abductor. You didn't catch the person that sent me into prison. You didn't catch them.
Stay in the blue box.
You didn't catch me.
Stay in the blue box.
You didn't catch me, and you didn't catch them. You go let people slice and dice.
I don't know what the deal is here.
You don't. The car. You're trying to put down. Give a fuck.
Oh, good. We went to the
Leave her
hospital.
dog,
That's
eh?
good to see. Just for liability's sake, the hospital's a good idea.
Thank you. Grace, relax, you.
Lay it on my motherfucking leg.
Bro, this is when hospital PD would get so pissed. We'd come in with somebody that was like tripping balls, and they would look at you like, bro, like, this is going to be a me problem. Because then they'd have to sit on them and not us.
I got no teeth through.
Thanks.
No, it's not.
Oh, I wasn't.
Honestly, I feel bad for this kid. And it's for any kids. Mostly people that are like not acting in the right mind. If they're perfectly sober acting like this, I don't feel bad at all. And you've seen me mercilessly make fun of people that are acting like that when they're sober. But when they're like intoxicated, it makes me sad. Because a lot of that has to deal with either the addiction portion of it, or there's, again, potentially a victimization aspect of that. You just got to pay attention to it. And then CCP, or Code and Criminal Procedure, just understand what's going to make your charge stick or what's going to make your investigation constitutionally correct. And that's that, again, developing reasonable suspicion for the stop, and then articulating whether or not you have PC for the arrest, not doing the arrest until you have PC, unless you're articulating like exigency for putting somebody in handcuffs for safety's sake or whatever. But yeah. Kudos to the cops who are forced to talk to these folks and cranky children. It's all the time. I think that jail closed in 2007. It's a human definition. Oh my God. Y'all need to chill. And no, I would not take somebody in handcuffs at that point. Book and release. You might do a book and release in a smaller municipality. Here, because of a liability, if they're that intoxicated, they get booked. And, well, the judge probably releases them if they sober up. Thank you to everyone who's currently hanging out with me, and for everyone that's dropped a like. I do appreciate it. Bodycam. Let's see if I get some context here. Mesa, Arizona, on August of 23. Members of the U.S. Marshals in Arizona wanted a task force. They were looking for 20-year-old Nikindrion Pride. I don't know how to say that name. Who was wanted in connection to 3 separate armed robberies. Well, you got to earn it for marshals to go after you, so. I'm guessing they asked for PD assistance. This is pretty short. Here's our friend. It's pedestrian on a roadway where crosswalk is provided. Texas, it's within 100 feet. That's pretty close. I could articulate just that. Have reasonable suspicion for a stop. They threw a flashbang. What?
This is him. Down!
They hitting him with less lethals? And it ain't a police shotgun jamming. Surprise, surprise. I am not.
This is him. Down!
Oh, man. That's really unfortunate. I wonder what his articulation for that was.
Put your hands out!
I don't think his hands are coming out,
I'll
dog.
take over on this one. Put your hands out! All right.
Bro, my dude is not moving.
Let's primary, less lethal, taser. Yep. Copy. I got hands. Put your hands out!
So, I understand this is effectively like an open air no-knock warrant. My only issue with the way that this got initiated, I understand the safety component of it. These guys are exposing themselves to a dude that is allegedly, this is all allegedly because it hasn't gone to the court of law, involved in 3 armed robberies. My only issue with it is I come at it from the suspect's perspective here, right? So First thing I hear is an explosion. The next thing I probably feel is this thing hitting me. I haven't heard police yet. I haven't heard, like Mesa Police Department, whatever. There's no announce aspect of it. Let's say, and the Breonna Taylor case is a really good example of this, where Breonna Taylor's boyfriend had returned fire to the people doing a no-knock warrant, and he was absolved of any wrongdoing because it was unreasonable for him to know this was law enforcement if they didn't announce that they were. For all he knows, he lives in a shady place and someone's kicking in his door to come rob him. In this instance, again, somebody that's probably dealing with crime, so on and so forth, the discussion's going to be on the back end. Did this person knowingly and intentionally resist arrest? Well, he has to know he's under arrest. So that means you have to make an announcement. That's like, again, CCP is a part of that. And then the way that the penal code offense is going to be articulated is that he's resisting a warrant service, but he has to be knowingly and intentionally doing it, which means these are unmarked units. All he hears is a explosion go off, and he starts to get, I just wouldn't want to be on the back end of the use of force with this. It doesn't mean that this guy didn't propose a deadly threat. That doesn't mean that this guy wasn't involved in robberies. He totally could have been, and we're lucky that nobody was hurt in this outside of the suspect. But there's the flip side of this, both legally and I think ethically. You got to think about the way that you're approaching this guy and whether or not he had an ability to know that he was interacting with law enforcement and not just some dudes shooting at him. Also from like a safety standpoint. Shorty beanbag shotgun. I know that's kind of weird. Dylan, what's going on? Marshals have different rules. Once it's a valid warrant has been signed, I've seen them do wild crap. I guess they have different rules. If you're a regular police officer doing that, announce. At the very minimum, announce. Let's see. Josh, will you be solo for the entire stream? I might be. We'll see. I might. Let me see. I'm going to check my messages real quick. Did anybody say, hey, I'm going to jump right on? Let's see. Negative. I might be solo for the rest of the stream, and I'll be solo for the after party. I'll come hang out with you guys. Thank you to everybody who's already liked it, and we got like almost 30 people in here hanging out, so I appreciate it. Dan, Mrs. Bill and Juan, yeah, screw Josh. Dan, at least I'm going to tell them that you asked.
Oh, put your that arm. Hold on, let him pull. Let him pull. Put your fingers on the gun.
He did indeed have a firearm. He was a deadly threat. Oh, he had one with the fun switch.
All right, move him over to the side.
If the guy's an armed robbery suspect and he's going to point a gun at you, I would rather guys get to go home to their wives and families that aren't robbing banks. However, that the discussion has to be made about how this starts to happen, and there's some constitutional discussions to be had about how you're affecting these arrests. He was not allowed his day in court, and I don't know that it was reasonable to do, but for the marshals, they do whatever. For legal sake, just to cover yourself, even if you're just like, police, boom, at least say it. Have it in your mind that at least you said it, and legally it covers you a lot, because the argument can be made that he knowingly and intentionally resisted. Especially if you're hitting him with a flashbang on top of that, be like, police, throw the flashbang goes off, he's getting hit. It's going to be so bang bang if he's not waiting for it, but at least you've covered yourself legally. Just free advice. Most of the switches see the gun. Yeah, as long as the gun gets through the first couple rounds, though, I mean, it's still a dangerous thing. But yeah, unless you have a very well maintained Glock and you're using like semi quality good ammunition, yeah, the giggle switch is stupid. They are cool though. I want one. I miss Bill posing with his head tats. I'll tell him that. I'm not testing that in real time. Probably. Oh hell no. Yeah. Brother-in-law and parents got me a PS5 for my birthday. Well, Dylan, well, shout out for that. A PS5's what's up, my dude? Josh going to turn into Joseph Nathaniel. Oh, I gotta play this. This pissed me off.
I mean, she could probably get charged with child porn.
Who, she can? She's 11 years old.
She's creating it, right?
She's 11 years old.
A man in Columbus, Ohio, posts a video on TikTok that he says shows police acting as if his young daughter could be prosecuted for making child porn after a man asked her to send naked photos. Now the chief of police is apologizing to the girl's family. Thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Anjanette.
This upset me a lot.
The video was posted 3 days ago.
This made it to
TikTok.
Canada.
It's from a
Good.
home surveillance camera system.
Boo Axon.
The father typed on the video that his 11-year-old daughter was the victim of a predator who convinced her to send photos of herself to him. The caption claims that he called police at 6 p.m., but they didn't show up until midnight. And this is what happened.
I'm not mad about the time delay, especially right now that there's a lot of agencies that are just like really low on manpower. If it's not an immediate thing, and it's more likely to report, it's going to wait. This will happen with like a stolen car or stolen property or something like that, especially if they're really, really short-staffed. That I do buy. I'm not mad about the response time on this. I'm mad about everything else.
Happened.
Hi.
Yeah, she's in bed now. She's already asleep.
Well, it still happened though, right?
Yeah. I just the whole point. I just wanted you guys to come over and talk to her. I mean, I just want her to realize what.
I will say this. Oftentimes, I think for us, the cutoff was like 10. She's a little older than that, so maybe they could interview her. Depending on the age of the child, criminal investigations shouldn't be done by law enforcement. They have what they call forensic interviewers, and these are effectively like psychologists. But they're people that take very specific training to interview children. I had to deal with this a few times when my victim was under the age of 10. And it's because their interviews, the kids' testimony is not admissible in court because they've said that kids under a certain age don't understand the ramifications of what they're saying. And a law enforcement officer is not going to have the training you need to make sure that some of the things, just look up forensic interview and you'll have the forensic interviewer sit the kid down. They do it in a very kid-friendly environment and they'll explain, like, do you know what the truth is? And the kid will articulate what the truth is. Do you understand that you don't want to lie? And when I ask you if you know what a lie is, they articulate, the kid knows what lying is. And they'll walk through a really systematic way of making sure that the kid's statements are going to be able to be held up valid in the court of law. And it's not, because kids do make stuff up at times. Obviously, you want to take anything dealing with a child very seriously. But as far as interviewing a kid, you want to make sure that you're taking contact. If you have like a crimes against children's unit, I had one. My department was really big. We had a lot of victims where kids were the victim. But you also might want to kick this up to a detective if you have one on duty to make sure that you're protecting that, mostly because chain of custody starts to be a thing, whether or not that stuff's going to be admissible in court, and also how quickly you can act on the information you're given. Can you ask a 5-year-old a quick question just to verify that at least maybe you do have an offense and get it on body cam? Yes, just understand that. Don't go into a big old interview with the kid because most of that stuff legally, there's a lot of case law on this, won't be admissible. You want that kid's statement to be admissible and to not leave any room for a defense attorney to try to wiggle their way out of it.
What this was, I mean, reality, it's not much you guys probably can do about it, is there?
I mean, she could probably get charged with child porn.
Who, she can?
Oh, that pisses me off. This pisses me off so much.
Right?
She's 11 years old.
Doesn't matter. She's still making porn.
No, she's not. She's being manipulated by a grown-ass adult on the
Is she
internet.
taking pictures now?
You guys have a nice evening.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Are you serious? Have a nice evening.
That interaction.
I tell you what, he was a lot more polite than I would have been. He's a bigger person than me. I don't know of any law anywhere where you're holding a minor responsible for an interaction with an adult, especially when it comes to these types of crimes. And I don't know if it's a lack of knowledge in penal code or just like being stupid that like doesn't make you realize that like, hey, I have an offense here, very serious offense. But if you don't know, don't make it up. It was a big thing you'll learn, or you at least should be learning in very early in your police career. Penal code's thick. Like most penal code books are incredibly thick and incredibly dense, and most of these offenses you won't deal with a lot of times. I had to deal with, transmission or distribution of adult, stuff without somebody's consent. This is before revenge porn laws were a thing. It was a very obscure penal code offense, and I had to pull out the book and skim over 2 offenses and read and figure out what the elements of the offense prior to me even doing an interview with my victim. And so you'd rather do that than do this bullshit where you're making it up. and then re-victimizing a family that's already been victimized. They're very, very lucky. This was a very reasonable dad. I think it's at the very minimum, at least a report, at least take an incident report, even if you didn't, let's say there wasn't an offense, right? You should at the very minimum report it, give that person the report number, write whatever report you want to go do and be done with it. This is outright stupid. And then either dodging work or whatever it is. But like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I wonder what the disposition is here. I wonder if it says it.
Well with the 11-year-old girl's father or the Columbus Police Chief, Elaine Bryant. Chief Bryant issued the following statement to Law and Crime. My expectation is that our officers treat every victim of crime with compassion, decency, and dignity. What I saw in that video did not reflect that, which is why we referred this case to the Inspector General. I want to make clear, this incident does not reflect the division as a whole. Our officers do outstanding work to bring comfort and justice to victims every day.
Did you auto-fire them?
As soon as we learned of this incident, we immediately reached out to the father to apologize and to assure him that this matter was being fully investigated, both the actions of this officer and, more importantly, any crime committed against his child. A child would not typically be viewed as someone who committed a crime in a situation such as this one.
Good job, Law and Crime. They always crush it in these. Like I said, even if, and it happens a lot where people will call you and there's totally not an offense. This happens a lot. You still need to, that person does believe they're being victimized and you're supposed to represent some semblance of safety for them. Try to at least provide that at the very bare minimum before you move on. You are being paid to care. So try it every once in a while. Administrative leave, probably. Yeah, if I was the administrator there, I would have fired them. There's zero reason to have that be the case. I would have no room for somebody like that. I get that they're hurting for bodies, but I'd rather have a good police officer than that bullshit. Was the predator the victim in this? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Chris Hansen. Where's Chris Hansen when you need him? Don't need to investigate. It's on officer body cam. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'd be canning them right away, to be honest. I have no room. It's not, and it wasn't a hard, if it was something like wildly obscure, like this person stole my Bitcoin and you don't know what to do with that, you're like, well, what's Bitcoin? Maybe I kind of get that. Or like, you're like, I don't know anything about this. I'll take a report and refer it to detectives. That's like the bare minimum, because your reports don't have to be cut long. Officer so-and-so, Officer Josh from OnlyCops, police department, badge number so-and-so, talks to this person, name, date of birth, whatever, at this location at this time while on duty. This person notified me of XYZ. I, not knowing whether or not there was an offense, decided to take an incident report and am, pushing this up to investigators to do further investigation. I issued the report number and called it a day. Boom, done, hit send, on to the next call. It's not hard. Did that all the time. Unless there was like legit no offense. It's just like their grass clippings fell in my yard. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. I'm not doing that. I'm okay with pissing that person off. If your crypto stole the whole SEC, it's in your wheelhouse. The person was named Data Birth. You need to calm, Keith, with your dad jokes. You need to calm down. If I was admin, they'd be fired. And every call, other police chief. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Toastar, what's going on, my dude? Outcry calls for literally just get the ball rolling. Yeah. And like, especially like outcries with kids. And again, I talked about the whole investigative portion of it, about interviewing the kid and all that stuff. I've spent 10 hours on a call like this before. It's like one of my first calls right out of the day. And I called my supervisor and I was like, hey, this kid's like 3 and they're articulating something to me they shouldn't be able to articulate at their age. So there's some sort of misconduct happening. And she was like, hey, it's going to take you a minute. I had to go contact like CPS and I had to go contact the hospital and I had to go contact like an advocacy organization to do a forensic interview. And it took me easily 10 hours. I mean, to go from making scene to like, oh, now I got to go drive over here. But like, you take the time to do the job right because it's that person's emergency. You took an oath, literally. It's not too terribly complicated. The hell? Oh my god. Look at this officer trying to stay hidden. Why don't I have audio? There it is.
This officer was also on the lookout for the fleeing suspect. Unfortunately, his impatience, people around him obviously filming him, and the rest of the traffic not acknowledging or caring about what he was up to, led to his cover being blown by the time he threw it down. As a result, the perpetrator managed to simply turn around and get away. Picking the strip back up, he resumed his mission to try again somewhere else. Hopefully, they don't chew him out too bad back at the station.
Run.
Trying to stay hidden while preparing a spike strip, this officer was also on the lookout for the fleeing suspect. Unfortunately, his impatience, people around him obviously filming him, and the rest of the traffic not acknowledging or caring about what he was up to, led to his cover being blown by the time he threw it down. As a result, the perpetrator managed to simply turn.
Not gonna lie, if you were feeling real like Froggy, you could have totally gone on and shoved him off that bike. But that is some trash. I'd be pissed. What cracks me up about this, though, and I can say this now that I'm not in law enforcement. So we tried really hard to catch bad guys, right? A, because it's like a pride thing that crime doesn't happen in my city without doing something about it. But, like I'm doing it for y'all. Like, I never understood why the public in general, and it's this like weird, maybe it's like a Robin Hood facade that they give to people. But I was like, the guy's robbing banks. Or worse, like robbing people. And they would like cheer for the guy to get away. And I was like, you realize that that's the way he employs himself, is like stealing the rims off your car, or like breaking into your house, or fake selling you a PS5 and robbing you at gunpoint. Like, why would you root for the person that you might be the next victim of rather than rooting for law enforcement? I never understood that. Where's Adam Sandler when you need him? Finally caught the strand. Bradley, what's going on, dog? Good day from Aussie officer. We have another Australian here. What's going on, my dude? He said rap music. You're the worst. It's good to see you. We got a bunch of people hanging out with us here. Thank you to everyone who's liked the stream. Like I said, we're here breaking down body cam footage. We are trying to educate. We are not trying to promote violence, but the unfortunate reality is that law enforcement encounters can be violent ones. Jacksonville Sheriff's Office investigating officer involved shooting after a 15-year-old reportedly opened fire into a crowd of people leaving a football game in Duval Station Marketplace. That's sketchy. We'll see it. Dude, crowds of people always suck. We had Six Flags, Cowboy Stadium, a bunch of malls, a bunch of shopping strips. This happened all the time. Bars, strip clubs. I didn't like the buzzing of a taser to threaten people. I always thought that was stupid.
Oh! Hey, white shirt! Oh! What a gun! What a shirt! No, hold on! Hey, shoot! Shot fire!
Ooh.
Hey! Holy shit! Still up! Grab the gun! Fucking gun!
Up and over the fence. This is why we have PT requirements.
Hey, he's running to the dailies.
God, dude, his adrenaline's got to be checked. That was a lot of sketchiness. I want to point out how baller it is that despite how many bullets have just been fired, that these officers are still running after this guy. Shout out to these dudes.
Get on the fucking ground now! I'll fucking kill you!
This guy gets an A+ for officer presence. Absolute A+. Have fun with that write-up.
Don't you fucking move!
Got it?
Grab him.
Got him?
Yeah.
You're not shooting the crowd of people.
Handcuff him. Handcuff. Neither do I. Mine's on the other guy.
Oh, they already handcuff other people. I was like, why does nobody have handcuffs? Free advice, always have at least 2 on you. I used to keep 2 on my person and 2 in my car.
Put him on. You're hit? Who's hit? He. Where you hit? My head. Your head? Yes. Hold on. Hit me in my head. And right here. Where? On your hip?
Use gloves.
Yeah. Where? Is that the gun?
Also, shout out to these guys for going from a life-threatening situation, very quickly controlling the situation, and have literally on the turn of a dime turn into like, okay, now we got to protect this person's life. This is like top tier example of people putting everyone's life above their own, including the suspect. Shout out to these guys.
Yes, it's guns on him. Did you shoot yourself? No, you shot me. Somebody shot me. All right. Hey, give me your shears.
Hey, can you get a med kit? Yeah. Med kit.
Don't move.
I know.
Just calm down. Here. Hey, I'm sorry, I gotta pull your pants down.
Where's the firearm?
Right here. Grab it.
Show.
Here.
He's in his hip. I don't know how you get it.
You got.
So, free medical advice for people that are getting into emergency situations. When you're getting hit in, like in the torso or in the hip, you're not tourniqueting that. There are some ways of applying. I've seen this done with rifle magazines. I've also seen this done with like water bottles, where if you're hit like in a joint, where they're still able to apply like side pressure. It takes some practice, so don't try to do it in the wild. But if all else fails, stick some sort of object in that joint, and then you can actually, I learned this from an Army Ranger, shout out to them. But you can stick either like a really thick water bottle, a magazine, or something to put pressure through the joint to try to get some pressure on that artery so they don't bleed. But if it's in like in the hip girdle, all you can really do is pack that. Go take a certain anybody, because these are useful even in like car accidents and stuff like that. Being able to pack a wound could absolutely save this person's life. Having some bandages, Israeli bandages, I use those more than I used anything. But yeah, packing a wound is not a friendly experience. But you'd rather give this person a little bit of pain rather than them being deceased.
Where are you guys at with an 18?
Hold on.
Blank. This is why I cannot read your comments.
White guy! White guy! Where's he shot?
Golly, man, that is so sketchy.
You're hit, 7.
I'm glad they provided aid. I guess there's only just a couple of camera angles of that. It was really good. I mean, these guys had not great backstops and not great anything, and they managed to not hopefully hurt anybody else. But emergency medicine's incredibly important. Like I said, I did emergency medical care for probably no less than about 10 people where they were critically injured and in front of me. And EMS is not there yet. Fire is not there yet. They're really far from getting to a hospital. You were kind of the only thing standing in between them and dying. So having those skills, I think, as an officer is incredibly critical. I really think it should be standard in police academies to get that type of training, because you're way more likely to use that than you are to get in a shooting. These guys had to do both, which is wild. That was blanket inappropriate. Would have been an S, but if they used shears, he used shears. He didn't use gloves initially, but he did use shears. Definitely an S+. Sorry, protector mindset is real, Badge Buddy. Yes, protector mindset is real. The protector mentality is absolutely real. Make very specific tourniquets for those specific injuries. Wear if an inflatable pressure pad. Oh, well, shout out to that. Andrew Bruce in here with the knowledge. I don't have any experience with the little like inflatable tourniquets, but that's super awesome. Yes, gloves. I would start my shift off with no less than 5 pairs of gloves on me. I would keep 3. There was like this little pouch. They had like a trauma pad inside of my Kevlar vest. That had like this really nice Velcro. And so I would open part of that Velcro and I would put 3 sets of gloves in there. I would put 2 non-sterile gloves in my left pocket and then my fighting gloves in my right back pocket so that I could reach for one or the other if I needed to. And then as I used them, I would replenish them if I could. I would keep like a box of non-sterile gloves in my duty bag. Damn, stream was off for tonight. It is on. I am soloing it tonight. So I appreciate you stopping by, Sweeper. I've packed gauze into a hip wound, literally clogged the hole from bleeding and stopped it pretty fast. Yeah, dude, friggin' packing a wound is traumatic, but it's like the easiest way to save somebody when they're hit in a very critical area. Twice for me, it was Israeli bandage. I did have just where I applied pressure to it. With some gauze. And then I never tourniqueted anybody in the wild, though. Most of the injuries weren't to like obvious extremities, so I never had to tourniquet somebody. TQing is also very unpleasant. Tried to use quick clot. Stuff burns like hell and scars worse. I believe that. Oh, I got to give you guys audio. And then let me see if I can increase the quality of this. This is like kind of terrible. This is like a church. The camera is kind of like cattywampus, so like I keep feeling like I'm falling. It's kind of weird. Like a shoulder cam.
Hey, stop! We're behind the clinic, just south, or just west. Get down! Get down! Get down now! Show me your hands! Show me your fucking hands now! Show me your hands or you're gonna get shot! He's not complying. I don't know what he got in his hands. Show me your fucking hands or you're gonna get shot! See him? He just cocked a gun, I think.
Yeah, getting away from him is a good idea.
You're gonna get shot! I believe you.
Bro, shout out to this guy. I'm not a huge fan of the tactical retreat, but it's better than standing behind a wood, like crappy little wood door. Because that guy's steel like that, especially if that's like the industrial size, that's probably his cover. I doubt 9mm is defeating that, but you got almost your entire body exposed, and this guy's got like maybe his head. Shout out to marksmanship fundamentals there. And then having a red dot starts to become real useful at this distance here. This is cover at best, but if he's kind of popping in and out of cover, it gives you an opportunity to move. At the very minimum, his legs are a lot like the chassis in between him and his legs. You have ballistic plating, at least for a handgun, on your chest. So
He just shot fired!
I'd be smoking this dude. Yeah, there it is. I'd test that steel, whatever, and do some ballistic test. If he's hiding behind that thing, I'd smoke a couple through that. He's in brace position. Shout out to this guy.
Drop the fucking gun now! Drop the gun! Put your hands up! Put your hands up now!
So somebody could peek and see what he's doing on this side of the fence there. This guy's got his complete attention. It's called an L-shaped ambush. But you should have a pretty decent backstop if you go the other way. Obviously, you don't want to be in the backdrop, so you just notify officers that that's what you're doing. But you should be able to see past that wooden area. Just free food for thought if you're going to try it. If you're ever stuck in a situation, if you're not the contact officer has nothing to think about except for being in there. But if you're the second or third, and he's got two other officers here, be thinking about how else you can give that guy intelligence, right? Honestly, I also wouldn't be mad about you just taking a car and hitting that fence. You're going to piss off the owner here, but crack that fence so you can get better eyes on, and he's got less to hide behind.
Drop your gun now! Put your fucking hands up! Yes, he's sitting down behind the dumpster. Put your hands up now! Put your hands up! I see one hand. Put both your hands out. Put both your hands out now!
These are good commands. Yeah. Somebody needs to kill the siren.
He shot up in the air. I think so. He's crying.
All right. Hey, let me get that ball. Stand by. He's down. He might have been shot. Hold traffic. Hey, I'm coming over to get a pepper ball.
Shout out to Pepperball. Flashbang might help a bit. Flashbang would be pretty useful here. CS, OC.
Show both your hands!
I got one hand. I see one hand. Don't stand up unless you stick both hands on the ground.
Put both hands in the air when you stand up.
Hey,
put both hands.
I'm not a huge fan of this guy on the right's positioning because he's basically just cut off the officer that had cover, and you have a little bit less. But if you're going to do it, tell him. Because this guy could be so zoned in. He just got shot at. He could be so zoned in that he does not see you moving, in your peripheral. This guy seems to be in control. This primary officer is crushing it. But this backup officer needs to, at the very minimum, like touch the guy, let him know, like, hey, by the way, I'm moving in front of your muzzle. This guy's very locked in, like a dog would be, like a canine would be. If you're the secondary or third officer that's on scene, help that guy or ask this guy what we need to do. Make the plan before you move, because if he's really zoned in and shots start flying again, he might not know that you're there or see you that you're there. You'd be surprised at how strong tunnel vision can really take over in this instance.
Hands up!
Get back, Mark.
Don't call Papa. Come on. Crawl to us with your hands free.
Hey, let me get my shield.
Shield's a good call.
He's gonna blow his head off.
No, we're gonna.
He said he's gonna blow it. Yeah.
Well, that's not a you problem.
He's moving. He's moving.
That's a him problem.
Come out.
Come on,
Come
man.
out with your hands up.
I wonder what the
Don't
reason
make
for
us
contact
shoot you,
was.
man. Please.
Good verbal commands.
Break. He's advising. He's pointed at himself.
Okay.
So this is a semi-barricaded person. I understand making a perimeter here, and if you have SWAT available, letting it be a SWAT call. Here's a little robot dog. Starts to make a little bit more. Where's the LAPD robot dog when you need him? But I'd be real leery about trying to approach this, only because there's no good way of doing it. I do like the idea of CS, or I do like the idea of maybe like a pepper ball gun to kind of make him a little uncomfortable while he's back there to motivate him to leave that space. But I don't know that I'm approaching that without... He's at least got a shield, but that's not like going to cover you from the waist down. And if he's got suicidal ideations as opposed to homicidal ideations, like, let's sit and see if we can't get some additional resources. You eventually got to get off the pot and handle the situation, because he could also start indiscriminately shooting through this fence and hurt somebody. But if you're like the scene commander at this point, and this is you're unencumbered with this, start thinking about blocking off streets, start thinking about calling for assets. Drone would be really useful here just to see what he's doing. But there's not a ton tactically you could do here that's safe.
Put the gun down.
I do like verbal.
We'll help you. We can help you.
Very
Put your
good verbal
hands up
commands.
and come out.
One guy talk at this time. One guy talk at this time.
Good tactics.
Hey, what's your first name? Hey, John, I need you to crawl out with both your hands empty, okay?
Good commands.
Crawl out. Don't have any weapons or anything in your hand, John, okay?
Good commands.
Just crawl out slowly for us, partner.
Triple tasers tossed from behind the fence. Golly.
What's that, John? What's that, John?
Very
John,
good
we're
verbal.
not trying to hurt you. We just need you to come out with
Very
that
good
gun,
commands.
okay? John, I don't want you to kill yourself. I just want you to drop the gun, okay, partner?
Get over here behind me.
Okay. You're not wrong, Dylan.
What's that, John? I can't hear you.
Ginger should be the only command giver. Whoever feels more... I will say this. So I have the gift of gab. I'm a talker. Obviously, I'm here. You guys hear me talk all the time. I would take over scenes like this to do verbal. You would let whoever feels the most comfortable to do it. This guy was crushing it. Mr. Bodycam guy here was crushing it earlier, but the guy that's communicating might have extra training on this, or just extra experience. You really oftentimes, the most senior officer handles these the best because they're not as freaked out by the situation. He's not the one that got shot at. This poor guy is probably the most amped because he was just in a life-threatening situation. And even though you might not realize it in the time, adrenaline will slowly start to impair your ability to make more complex decisions. Like, hey, what more should I say to de-escalate, so on and so forth. So somebody else taking it over isn't the worst case scenario, but it does need to be one person and not a group of people. The talkiest.
John, I promise you, we can't help you unless you come out with your hands up, brother.
Yep, dude's checked out on high threat mode. Yeah, and I don't blame him. I mean, he just got shot at. I'm passing no judgment on that guy.
Nobody needs to get hurt, John. Okay, John, I just need you to cry. stand by. I'm talking to him. We're at the dumpster behind 402 West Morrow. He's at gunpoint.
Okay, somebody else needs to be handling radio traffic, not the guy doing the verbal communication. Somebody help it. You got enough people. There's plenty of lethal force here. A rifle would be nice, but we have enough lethal coverage here. I think we can have somebody else to go start dealing with radio and organizing units or whatever.
Yeah, he's behind the dumpster in here.
Get the yakkiest guy to do lip service. Daniel, yeah, I was the yakkiest guy oftentimes.
Shot up in the air, I fired.
You're all right, buddy.
Probably also having invasive thoughts of what the DA is going to think. 100%. 100%.
O'Keefe.
Poor guy.
John, do you have a gun? John, I need you to put that gun down and come out. John, we can't help you back there. I don't know what you're going through, but if you can't come out and talk to us peacefully, man, I can't guarantee anything.
I like that it gives him ample time to respond. He's trying to fill some of that dead air.
Okay? I promise you we won't shoot you if you come out with your hands empty.
I do like that this guy has now cycled out of the use of threat situation.
John, no, we're not going to shoot you. We don't want to shoot you. John, you've got a gun, John. We don't want to shoot anybody.
I'm out, guys. I have to be somewhere. Good stram. As always, I'll see you on Discord on the next one. Notorious Emu, I love you.
Come out with your hands up, buddy. John, can you at least just throw the gun out where we can see it? John, please don't do that, John. We need to get cover because I don't want him to stand up and start shooting.
All right.
I've got cover right here.
Here. Let's back up. We're going to back to this car over here. All right. All right. On both of you, Mason, let's pull back. Let's pull back.
We're trying to back up.
Keep backing up. We're going to go to this car behind us.
We need to get back. Get cover.
Keep moving. Keep moving. I got you.
Great team tactics, dude.
To the left. Step to the left. Step to the left.
So they're letting these guys concentrate on the primary threat, which is this guy popping up and start shooting. They're making all the movement decisions so that these guys can key in and occupy their brain, their eyes, and their mental fortitude towards the threat. This is very, very good, and everybody else is making all of the other decisions. Very, very good.
One more to the left. One more to the left. All right.
I've been here a while. Forgot to say hi. Atlas, it's good to see you, Doug.
Right, we're going back behind this car.
I got it right here.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna get my rifle.
I will say this. I was very, very lucky as a rookie officer that I had a lot of senior officers that I was on shift with. They would typically overlap. Their incredibly good days off overlapped my incredibly shitty days off because we worked 410s. And most of my initial calls like this, where it was real sketchy and we were getting into standoffs or it was like a weird use of force, I had senior officers that demonstrated to me how these things ran. And so by the time I got 2 or 3 years into my patrol career, it was very easy for me to know, hey, let's start doing some communication. Like I was very lucky. This is how most situations played out. Somebody would take charge of a situation and it was almost never a sergeant. It was just the senior officer, the most experienced officer there. They would take charge and you would do team tactics like this. This is a really, really, really good example. It's rare that you see it. I forget how fortunate I was to have this experience. But this was often senior officers this the Daniels and the Keiths of the world that would demonstrate this to me when I was a young little green officer. And as I got more experienced, eventually it was my turn to take over some of these calls. And I was very fortunate to be around that.
Y'all need to go inside.
Give us an airship. We need some aerial surveillance.
You're getting an airship.
Who fired? I did.
Okay.
Are you good? Yeah, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's sure. I saw him shoot off a round. I don't know where it went. It didn't hit me though.
Great job. They're like checking him. Like, dude, if you're good, then I can use you. But if you're not good, like, I don't need you here because it's not good for him and it's not good for the situation. Incredibly good peer-to-peer support right there in the wild.
Also be advised, he fired 1 round. You good? Are you sure you're good?
I'm good.
Great job.
Arm back down to the left.
Yes, you have to turn on your EOTech. R.I.P.
Hey, John?
R.I.P. EOTech. I had an aim point. I never had to worry about that.
Can you crawl out for me, buddy? Hey, we've backed up, partner, to give you some space. I just want you to come out. We know his last name. Hey, John, what's your last name?
Also super sneaky. You can run this guy if you can get first, last, and date of birth. Or just even first and last and just run it and see what comes up. You'll let the nerds up in dispatch figure it out.
You know last name? Hey, John, what's your last name?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go back to my feelings about when I have more than, like, even just one rifle present. I'm not a big fan of seeing handguns out. I understand the psychology of it, because I probably did the exact same thing when I was an officer, that I was like, hey, I'm in a deadly force situation. But, like, this is probably, it's hard to tell with body-worn cameras because it's like a wide-angle lens, but this is probably at least 25 yards. And with a rifle, that's a piece of cake. With a handgun, that gets a little sketchy, especially under stress, especially one-handed. So I'm probably holstering that guy up and putting some gloves on and being prepared to be the hands team. Maybe prepping and staging medical equipment, putting on some non-sterile gloves in case this guy does shoot himself. You can at least quickly administer care. And if not, if you guys start exchanging fire, I mean, you got the only piece of cover here. Utilize that to cover your guys. And then also start to look for opportunities for, like, I had a SWAT officer explain it to me as calling find work. If you don't have work, find work, which means look for something that you can do to contribute to the situation. Maybe you go and help block off traffic. Maybe you take the units, like you take the patrol cars and move them somewhere else so that it's like you're better controlling the environment, or getting on the radio and relaying all the information. Like, start to find where you can fit in that situation. There's always something you can do. These two guys have lethal force covered. You're fine. Holster up and get your peppers. Yes, yeah.
He's got a drone. Oh, okay. So we're just going to hold at this point right now.
I'm not a huge fan of this firing position just because you're going to get fatigued incredibly quickly, and this is likely these can very likely translate into very long standoffs. Find a comfortable position to cover and get comfortable, because you might be there for a very long. I've been involved in I think it was a 6-hour standoff and a 4-hour standoff, respectively, where I was having to hold a rifle, and it sucked. It was a whole bunch of suck.
Anybody, we don't have a shield.
He's got a shield.
I know, but I was thinking the big shield to get behind. We probably need to get some better cover or something. We've got one in the armory still.
Do we want to move behind these patrol cars?
Send somebody code to go get it.
Right, because I don't want to shoot towards Walmart. So we can shoot towards.
Big brain.
Start making one officer stay here. Mark, stay with Mason. Yeah, I got Mason. Our angle, so we're not shooting.
Great job. Let's improve our backstop if we can.
No, go. It's okay, all right?
Let's go.
Love this. Good job with these guys. The only thing I don't like is there's nobody talking to this guy. Somebody needs to continue to talk to this guy while we're doing all this.
Hey, John,
this is sustainable.
Hey,
John, it's Lieutenant Ragland. Can you hear me?
We need to clear Tropical Smoothie out.
Hey, John, it's Lieutenant Ragland.
Fucking big brain. This guy said lieutenant.
Is there any way I can just at least get you to crawl out where we can at least see you, brother? John, it's hard to hear, man.
Also, saying it's hard to hear is also a lot of times a really good excuse to get somebody to come a little closer to you. That's top tier negotiating right there.
Yeah.
You already shot.
I was not shot.
I was not shot. This guy. Also, this is not helpful. If there's already a guy here, don't get right in front of his muzzle. That is going to be an RIP to your face and ears. Find a different place. Move a different car up if you really need to have that many rifles pointed at this guy. Or do it from a different angle so that at least you're developing your own sense of cover and stuff like that. Don't get that close to somebody's muzzle. You're going to have a very bad day.
Yeah, I agree with you. How to get your cover. What, is it a pistol?
Yes.
Okay.
Me and Mark were approaching, and I heard him slide it back. So we took off. He raised it over the trash can.
Man, he's still amped, poor guy.
This way?
I don't know which way he shot, but I fired, I think, 2 rounds.
299 to whoever's in.
command control right now. He did fire around towards the urgent care clinic. Raised his hands above the dumpster.
So free advice for people that get in standoffs. Elbows are your friend. They act as free bipods. Use them because it's a much more stable and easy to hold position. Pinch your elbows in and then try to find something to rest them on. It's a very easily controllable position. We'll save you. Daniel, I'm 100% with you that if I can pull this guy out, I'm pulling this guy out.
Smoothie clear.
Send him to clear tropical smoothie.
Is there units over there that can do that? Hang on, just clear out tropical smoothie. If we can get tropical smoothie completely empty because we're aiming right at it.
See what happens here. There was a discussion on how much lethal cover do you need? Not a good firing position. If fatigue sets in quick, too. Bradley! Ginger's about to start coming down. It's a good call for him, for his offsider. Yeah. He can get a smoothie on the way out. Yeah, pull him out. And you're protecting him from himself. It's not that he's not a good cop. It's just that he was in a very stressful situation. And human physiology and psychology is very predictable. A lethal amount is always preferred. We'll keep skipping here to see what we got.
Okay. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
Shout out for this guy for, like, bucking up for it, but if you're another officer, you're to make decisions for them. Still amped, but I think he's holding himself together. He's doing a way better job than I think I would have. He's very much holding it together. As a hand and idea, clear the smoothie joint. Make him do that. Let him get the smoothie joint. Dylan gets it. I'm team that, too. Yeah, that fatigue's setting in now. And we're only 20 minutes into this.
I hate to do it to you, man. Actually, you know what? Hold on to that just in case this goes anywhere else. But other than that, I'll get that from you and we'll swap out.
Great job. Taking care of your cops, dude. He's like, I hate to do this to you, but...
I'm sorry, man. I got to do it. It's all good. He's going to hang out with you, okay? I'm just taking him off.
Good job. Take care of this guy. Oh, we don't get to see the conclusion. That was a good job of team tactics. I think continuing to think about how you can improve your position. If you're not going to go arrest the guy, improve your position or improve your control, your actual as opposed to perceived control of the situation. They're all sunburnt. Yeah, they're not gifted with the melanated skin as I have. Team Smoothie. Looks like they're starting to get a sunburn too. Yeah, dude, it sucks. But yeah, I think, I guess, I don't know what happened to the suspect. They didn't give us a conclusion on that. But I'm going to do like 2 more of these and then I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit on the after party and then we'll have a cool discussion. So for those of you that are interested in the after party, you guys can join our Patreon group. It's as little as $1 a month and gives you access to our Discord where I will be hanging out typically, especially next week. I'll be out of state next week, but I will hang out with you guys as much as I can on Discord. Oh, we have no audio.
I think I got the correct plate rate, but it was
Does anyone need a paramedic?
Multiple cars. Man drives multiple police cars.
The car was able to still move to the side, so it's all good. I'm not going to check the traffic.
Is there any city property law, any street signs, light poles, fire hydrants?
No disposition? I didn't see a disposition.
No, but...
Echo Syria, certified GTA moment.
So maybe, yes.
The car that hit
What's going on, Echo?
No, they didn't stop. They just left.
Those guys out hitting people with cars.
You look Hispanic.
It's one of my people.
911, operator 498.
Hi, good evening. I'm calling to report. There was a gentleman, a white gentleman driving a fire department car vehicle. It was It was DWP. It was a DWP, and he just took the red light. I don't know if it was stolen because the guy was shirtless, and he like went in the middle of traffic, and he was heading north down San Fernando Road.
Bro, this is top tier caller right here. Gave us a direction of travel, a description, and then like reasonable suspicion to interact with this dog. Like dog.
You saw this at San Fernando Road and what cross street?
He almost hit us.
Yes.
And
He almost
Paxton.
Paxton?
and San Fernando Road, yes.
Bro, this is the best 911 caller I've ever heard in my life.
Just right now.
Okay. And what color? It was a pickup truck or?
More 911. Okay, I'm gonna get to the 911 calls.
Hi, they just...
Uh-oh, 3/4 ton GMC. Tweaked out Hispanic knucklehead. Oh. Shout out to this Yukon. Those are reverse lights. Well, that's in drive.
Run the plate. Wait, where's the nigga song? Yeah, no, just go.
Gonna run the plate, see if it's stolen. Vehicles from the Department of Water and Power. Poor employees gonna get skinned. Yeah, no kidding. My team stung fire once.
Stop.
Put that separate. Yeah, we'll go pit that car. Or that SUV.
Pull over.
Ram bar for some reason. Maybe for clearing stuff.
Good. Alright, he's going pursuit, bro. Yeah?
Yeah, it's a pursuit. It was a pursuit the second he left.
Is it northbound? Yeah.
Wrong lane of traffic. Easy pursuit. I'd pit it here at these speeds. Pit it.
Pursuit of the ADW truck going in the DWP incident. Eastbound went from Amwood. Requested back with airship supervisor.
Great.
Any rally traffic enemy to connect 8.
Put that car.
10 Lower Cannon Boulevard for key injury incident 3627.
This guy's driving in circles. This is hilarious.
Correction, okay.
What?
Get it back, let's drive up. 6936. What's the ET on the back of the airship supervisor?
Oh, what?
Hold.
Yeah, California's wild, dog.
Hold. Go.
Good job clearing the intersection.
Eastbound transfer from what?
Next looking to domestic.
They're dispatching a domestic right now. Come on now.
6605.
We're in the PA. We're in the PA, dude. 16x36 where we...
You're on the PA? He wasn't keying up. Maybe these guys are new.
Eastbound Tunsford from Cayuga approaching...
Nuke that uke. Nathaniel. Get on the highway. It's going to get sketchy.
16x36 is in pursuit of a the vehicle suspect. He's on to search from Cayuga, approaching San Fernando.
Slow down. 16x36 southbound 5 freeway, approaching Penrose.
Get off the freeway, go down to, it's going to take you over the 5 freeway. You're going to have to U-turn, get back on the other way. Officers coming off that off-ramp, your next right. He went through this parking lot. Next right, follow it up.
So Air One's directing that vehicle.
Hold on, he's turning around. He's going to be facing your way. Officers coming up that ramp, he's facing your way. So they're down the ramp towards the officer.
Jesus.
Make this a help call. Right, he went through this parking lot. Next right, follow it up. I have the vehicle. Hold on, he's turning around.
To be honest, that's probably authorized deadly force.
He's coming down the ramp towards the officer.
Jeez, dude. Oh my god.
Hey, rescue team on the side. Get that dude out.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little disappointed I don't see deadly force here. He could have very easily killed any one of those guys, and he very intentionally did that. Shout out to Yukon, I guess. GMC.
Get that dude out.
I'd be nailing that car at the very least. At least immobilize it. Fuck it. You're already fleeting out 2 cars. Let's get this guy immobilized so nobody else gets hurt. Um, 90% of those missed. If not all of them.
Suspect is running the police car.
We have this many police officers, dog. Come on now.
Suspect is continuing to move the vehicle reversing.
So, these guys are doing great. They're in it to win it here, right? But how many... He's already hit people, and he's still in the car, and, like, he's not listening to commands or whatever. Effing mint. Mike gets it. Yeah, you be aiming for car seats on this. Mostly, because of overpenetration. Aiming at the window is useless. Because if you miss, you're sailing it clean through the car. I had this discussion during a traffic stop one time that I had already pre-gamed in my brain that I wanted to aim into the car and down if I was going to have to use deadly force. Mostly because I want to give the car as much opportunity to trap that round if I had to discharge it. You have a higher likelihood of likely getting a hit that way anyways. That would be your equivalent of center mass if you were aiming at a regular target. Yeah, dog. This is I don't know. It's LAPD. God bless them, but what are we doing? What are we doing?
Coming forward, he's ramming the police car.
Gee, bro. Holy backstop. They are very lucky an officer didn't get struck here. Very, very lucky. You got to realize what you're dealing with here, man. I don't know. You got to realize what you're dealing with.
The police car southbound on Edenhurst.
Are we going to run it down? We're going to run it down on foot, I guess.
Suspect is continuing to move the vehicle reversing.
Like, they're super lucky these guys up here aren't dead. I don't understand how we're not getting, like, ignorant.
He's coming forward, ramming the police car. Suspect is ramming the police car.
Shout out to these guys running after it, but...
Hold on, turn around. He's turning around. He's going to be facing your way. After coming up that ramp, he's facing your way.
Hey! Hey, get out the fuck!
I'm shocked none of those officers tried to shoot that car. I'll be 100% honest. I'm sure Geo says you're not allowed to, but, like, dog. Also, having your phone in your hand.
Hey, get on the fucking ground!
Oh, well, they did. I didn't realize that. Well, look at that. They went up and got it. They got ignorant with this dude. But I didn't see this part. Well, shout out to them.
Get on the ground!
Next right, follow it up.
Oh.
I have the vehicle.
Gunstock is this weekend. Yes, Gunstock is this weekend. I will be there if you guys want to come see me. Yeah, I'll pin this comment. Here we go. Why can't I pin this? It literally only lets me get you in trouble. Sorry. Guys, this is wild, dude.
Turn around. Just turn around. He's going to be facing your way. After coming up that ramp, he's facing your way. Coming down the ramp toward the office.
Good Lord, dude. Oh, man. I'm so glad that guy was okay. But what an animal. And then he got right into it. Shout out to this guy. I don't know how we retreated from this point, to be honest. Once you've established, like, you've already used deadly force, you're already here. I say you go in and go get this guy. I get it that the car's still like live, but like I say go in and go get that guy. He's already just tried to kill you all.
I have the vehicle. Hold on, he's turning around. He's turning around. He's going to be facing your
I'll explain
way.
Gunstock in a second.
That ramp is facing your...
Do we ever take this guy into custody?
Person giving commands.
Hey,
We're gonna be this side. Esther, can you move this shop up here? This shop
Esther.
right here, if you can. Here, up here.
Holy backstop. Shout out to whoever Air 1 is. I like how we just shoved a dude pointing a gun. How many angles are we going to get this from? Shout out to these guys running after this car. They're motivated. I'm here for these guys. Yes, Bill and I are both going to be at Gunstock. It's in Waxahachie, Texas. Bro, when do I get, like, this guy in custody? Is what I want.
Grab some less meat.
They got this guy so fast. Bro, they got a Bearcat there, like,
Hey, on this side, one shooter, one less meat.
Okay, Santiago, get up on the L-ramp.
I like this guy. This guy gets it. He said one shooter, one less lethal only. Everybody else holster up. I respect it. Get the rifle. Man, I love this guy. It's nighttime. They've been there for a minute. This guy got hit a few times. This guy's got to be higher than a kite.
Es del principio y por los siglos de los siglos. Amén. No.
That's wild. That was y'all done. Yeah, that y'all are coming up with some wild stuff. LAPD team is on 24/7, 365. Must be nice. Our SWAT team took time off all the time. We had 2 SWAT teams, and they were always out on training. Ultra lethal. Oh my God. Have Air 1 just pop a round off, right? He was not very Catholic, clearly. Either way, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of after party time. I can't give much because I do have to prepare for Gunstock for those of you that are interested. Oh, I guess I can show you here. Team.com/Gunstock. There it is. It is an approximately 1 day and 2 hours. My company that I work for, AR15.com, is putting on a really cool event. The exhibitors, so we got like a bunch of people that are going to be there. TNVC here is Night Vision Company, Silencer Shop, and Huxworks. Hux is actually releasing a can tomorrow. I will get to interview Huxworks to go show you guys their new suppressor that's coming out, so I can talk to you guys about that. All of these people will have, in some way, shape, or form, a bay that you can go shoot out of. Like I know Sergeant of Arms. He's got like a long range bay. I think it's like 1,300 yards or 1,400. It's something wildly far. He's got a really tricked out precision gun you can go shoot. Triarch Systems is going to be out there. Bill will be out there. 6 hours, CMMG, LMT, all these people will be out there. Somebody's there with a helo. Shout out to them, where you can fly in a helicopter and shoot out of that thing, all Call of Duty style if you guys want. And then there's machine guns that are going to be there. A bunch of cool stuff. I don't know if I still have free tickets. If not, I'll try to get some more free tickets. For those of you in the Discord, you guys got access to free tickets through me. I was able to do it as a perk of being part of our OnlyCops OCFT, which is our Discord. If you'd like to get access to our Discord, you could join our Patreon group. It is as little as $1 a month to get access to that. That is also where we're going to do the after party. Come hang out. Bill and I will both be there. And then some of y'all, we can go have dinner and stuff. It'll be cool. Yeah, it might be a Cobra gunship. Make the Blue Thunder a thing. Y'all are crazy. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me on the stream. Thank you for everybody that dropped a like, and for the super chats that I got. I got a couple of super chats. Thank you, Blank Forge, for being our registered adult, and thank you, Dad, for hanging out with me the whole time. That's Keith. He is our band hammer. You'll see him with there. I will hang out with everybody else in the OCFT. I will not be. No one. They both ditched me today. I'll see. Let's see. Did I get any messages? I did not get any messages. They left me for the day. But I will be hanging out in the OCFT next week. I will be in California, in Southern California, for any of you guys that are out there. I will be with Surefire. They're releasing a product, and for work, I have to go out there, poor me, and go play with the thing. I have a couple of NDAs on that, so I can't explain it, but you guys will get to see it soon. And then the following week, I have to be in Iowa for a bunch of stuff for my job as well. So you might only catch me on Discord. So if you don't want to miss me for almost 2 weeks, you guys can join the Patreon group. To be fair, Josh, you did say the stream was off schedule due to Gunstock. That is true. That is true. I did say that, but I decided to reward those that hang out with us. We are at like 5,100 and something subscribers. I really do appreciate everybody that hung out with us and has joined that. Continue to subscribe if you want to see breakdowns like this or get info on how to come hang out with us offline. For everybody else, I love you and good night.